Hello, my nerdlings. If you're new here, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. Today, I just want to give you a bit of a life update. Um, Life has been chaotic. I was in a car accident about a week and a half ago. I was driving to pick up Leon from daycare, and I stopped because the person in front of me stopped. The person behind me did not stop. And my van, I drive a Chrysler Voyager. He hit me so hard that I wasn't able to open the trunk to get things out. Um, the van is currently at the shop getting repairs. Um, and he hit me so hard that the glass from my window in the way back ended up in my shoes in the front seat. Um, so it was a little rough. I'm fine though. I had a concussion and um, whiplash, but other than that, I'm fine. Um, so that kind of impacted me with like recording and everything because I'm not supposed to be looking at screens. So, um, but I've also been like super panicky about the school year coming up. If you do not know, I teach high school life science and health. Well, my charter school that I work for, we are opening up to grades 7 and 8 this fall. So I'm going to, it's been asked of me to teach middle school health as well. So I had to write a health curriculum for the middle schoolers. I am currently at 37 pages typed with size 12 font, Times New Roman, and 0.5 margins, not inch margins. 37 pages, and I only have 2 units done out of the 10. So that's been eating up a lot of my time. So I'm going to be doing 7 through 12 health, not all together, obviously. We're dividing it up. And then 9 through 12 biology, anatomy, and this really, really exciting elective that I'm going to be teaching. It's called Hidden Histories of Science, and it's going to be a science elective that is blended with a history course as well. We're going to look at underrepresented people in science. So think like Hidden Figures, Temple Grandin, like scientists that you don't hear about that you don't hear about in a standard science course. Like we'll talk about Rosalind Franklin, we'll talk about Henrietta Lacks. Granted, she wasn't a scientist, but we're going to do like medicine and biology, chemistry and physics, space exploration, math and engineering, like that type of stuff. And then we're going to do a unit of like ethical concerns where we'll talk about like the Tuskegee syphilis study and Henrietta Lacks, eugenics, things like that. So I'm super excited for this course. But it's mainly, we're going to be focusing primarily on women, BIPOC scientists, and LGBTQIA plus scientists. So I'm so pumped for this class. But anyways, so I've been writing that curriculum as well. I did spoil myself and went and got my nails done for like the first time in forever. They are God of Fury inspired by Rena Kent. The yellow is not as yellow as the book, but this is the color yellow she had, and Leah did a fantastic job. So I really enjoy them. And she even drew the little, try and do this without it looking like I'm flipping you off, the little mask that Nico wears at the initiation on my ring fingers. So there's that. What else have I been up to? So writing curriculum, car accident. I went with my friend Alicia an hour away yesterday so she could test drive cars because her car is old and it's needing more to fix it than it's worth kind of situation. And while we were down there, we also hit up some bookstores. So I have some books. I did go through my shelves and unhaul some books. There was books that I did haul that I got that I didn't do a haul, and I'm gonna put a picture right here. This was damage from pre-orders and the Barnes and Noble buy 3 paperbacks for 25. This is the damage of that. So, yeah, quite a few books. But these books, when I brought home the big pile of books, I went through my shelves and like trying to fit things on them because I'm pretty much at capacity. Like I have this top shelf that I could redo, and I could move my board games. That's what these are. These are board games. I could move my board games to a more permanent home, and I could have 2 more shelves worth of books, but I don't want to right yet. I want to try and use this as an excuse to curb my spending. Hold on, eyelash. Okay. So I made a stack of books that I was getting rid of because I tried them and didn't want to finish them because they were just not my cup of tea, or I finished them and I'm like, I'm never going to reread this because it was not, I didn't enjoy the story as much as I wanted to, things like that. So that's why we ended up with these. We went to Bull Moose. I traded them in. One of these, nope, 2 of these are pre-orders from Barnes, and then the rest are from my trip to Bull Moose. So first, we have a pre-order from Barnes, and that is Zom Romcom by Olivia Dade. I own every title that she has published. I don't know if she has any that are indie published, but pretty sure I own every single one of her titles. But, and of course, there's not a list of like, also by, nope. So, but she has this, spoiler alert, Shipwrecked, All the Feels, and At First Bite. So, Olivia Dade writes romances with plus size protagonists, plus size female main characters. And in this one, teaming up with your neighbor during a zombie outbreak is a no brainer. But if it turns out he's a vampire, the stakes couldn't be higher in this infectious new paranormal romance. And so I'm intrigued. She has yet to write a book that has let me down. And then this one was a Bull Moose. We have Rogue by Elle Kennedy. This is the part of the Prep series. This is book 2, and this is book 1, Misfit. Let's see. Welcome to Sandover Prep, where the delinquents roam and you can't trust a soul. When did this come out? Well, it says 2023. But I think this might have been older than that. Finding out your mom is marrying some rich guy you've never met is enough to make any 18-year-old's head spin. And for RJ Shaw, it gets worse. He's being sent to Sandover Prep for senior year. If there's one place a misfit hacker like RJ doesn't belong, it's an ivy-covered all-boys boarding school for rich delinquents. There's no point in trying to get along with anyone. That is until he meets Sloane Trescott in the woods on the outskirts of campus. Gorgeous and sharp-tongued, Sloane is pure temptation. Except Sloane is the one girl he's forbidden from touching, the headmaster's daughter. Ooh. Good thing RJ doesn't believe in rules. Sure, Sloane insists she's swearing off boys this year, but he wants her bad, and he's going to win her over if it kills him. Unless her ex-boyfriend, the ruling king of Sandover, kills him first. Luckily, RJ's unwittingly made some friends. His new stepbrother, Fen, a pretty boy with a self destructive streak, Lawson, a self proclaimed agent of chaos, and Silas, the all American good guy who can't actually be as nice as he seems. If RJ wants to survive prep school and win Sloane's heart, he'll need to adapt and fast. So that's book one. Is book two still about him? No. This is following another friend. So in this one, it says, "Welcome back to Sanover Prep, where the secrets lurk in the dark and no one is safe when they come into the light." It's been a long time since Casey Trescott has felt like her life was her own. After the car accident that nearly cost her everything, she is used to her family's coddling and relentless whispers at school. No matter how much they sting, after all, she's found in a safe harbor in her budding relationship with Sandover's golden boy, Fen Bishop. Or so she thinks. Beneath Fen's pretty boy surface is a dangerous truth about the night Casey almost died. He thought lying to her was the right thing to do, but when the secret shakes loose, he might lose her for good. But because Casey is done being taken advantage of. Grasping for control, she's been missing. Casey finally snaps, telling off her bullies, gallivanting with rebels and playboys, and shirking her headmaster father's district curfews despite the consequences. A desperate Fen must ally with his stepbrother RJ and the other Sanover delinquents to uncover the full story of Casey's accident and the ones responsible if he hopes to win her back. But what happens if Casey's no longer the same girl he fell for? Is there any hope for their future if she's gone rogue for good? So there's those two. Now we officially own every Elle Kennedy except two. So next is another Bull Moose purchase, and that is Roll for Romance by Lenora Woods. It's a romance that has D&D mixed in. Two fledgling tabletop gamers find themselves falling for each other both in and out of their weekly D&D sessions in this charming fantasy-tinged romance. Okay. That's all I read when I picked this up. I didn't read the rest of the back because there's quite a bit here. I don't know if you know this, but I DM for my husband and his friends sometimes, and I watch a lot of Critical Role, like a lot. I have watched all of Campaign 1, all of Campaign 3, and I'm about halfway through Campaign 2, because why would I go in order? So I'm super excited for this. And then the last Bull Moose purchase before we get onto the Barnes & Noble pre-order, Offside by Avery Keelan. It's a hockey romance. Are we surprised? But these edges, I like these blue edges. After being dumped on her 21st birthday, Bailey James rebounds right into the arms of her ex's biggest competition. Chase Carter, antagonizer, womanizer, and infamous left-winger for her college's rival team. Following a string of scandals and substandard grades, the last thing Chase needs is to have his focus and loyalty called into question by fraternizing with his team's number one competition, but a beautiful stranger who throws herself at him one night is too tempting to pass up, until she throws up on his shoes. Caught in the midst of a bitter rivalry that extends far beyond the arena, Chase and Bailey are on opposite sides of the bench, sleeping with the enemy, and is definitely out of the question if the sleeping with the enemy is definitely out of the question. But what if the enemy is impossible to resist? We know your girl loves a hockey romance, right? So there's that. And then the last book that we've gotten recently was my pre-order of The Last Tiger by Julia Ryu and Brad Ryu. So look at these edges too. So pretty. I bought this book because I saw a TikTok where Julia made a TikTok talking about her grandparents' love story. If I remember correctly, the grandmother was from like a more affluent family, and the grandfather was not. And so there was some discourse because of that. But this was also during like Japan occupied Korea, um, and whatnot. So they took to writing their grandparents' love story, but it is in the form of a fantasy. So, in a colonized land where tigers are being hunted to extinction and ancient magic stirs, two star-crossed teens from opposite worlds, Isong, a servant yearning for freedom, and Choi Eun-ji, a noble girl defying tradition, joins forces to try to reshape their respective fates. But as their relationship evolves from begrudging accomplices to bitter adversaries, as they soon find themselves on opposite sides of a battle over the last tiger, a symbol of their people's lost freedom and the key to the liberation of their country, as ties between Seong and Eunji are complicated by their conflicting loyalties, tensions rise, especially when a charming princeling of the empire begins to rival for Eunji's affection. In this tale of forbidden romance, antagonists turned allies, oppression and liberation, neither Seong nor Eunji can abandon their mission or each other. As they embark on separate quests to find the elusive creature, each must also find power within themselves to make their own destiny. Inspired by true stories from the author's grandparents' lives during the darkest periods in Korean history, The Last Tiger is a debut young adult fantasy novel about the power of love to give voice to broken people. Leon, you don't have clothes on. You can't say hi.
Hey.
You say hi. Say hi. You don't need to get on the camera to say hi. Just say hi. So this was the other one. So yeah, that's just a little update as to what has been going on in my life and all the chaoticness. Um, but it's August. I have 2 weeks until school starts.
Hey.
Okay, you said hi. Go watch your tunes. You don't have a shirt on. You can't get on screen. Um, so I have 2 weeks till school starts. I go back a week before students do because of like in service and trainings and stuff. And then students start the following week. And in the next 2 weeks, I'm hoping I can get my ARC reading vlog done for the TBR game. But anyways, like the video if you did, comment down below what you have been up to the past few weeks. If you don't want to type anything, but just want to let me know that you're here, put a tiger emoji and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Until next time, you are loved and you are valid.